Shalom, shalom, Israel, coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying. First off, giving all praise, all honor, all glories to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and all the teachers out there pushing this word in truth, with truth and sincerity, especially now, risk your lives to do so. May you be of the elect. Shalom to all the Akim and the Akwath out there listening and learning. You Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanic, Native, and Seminole Indians, who are the true children of Israel, as well as you speckled bird, Israelite foreigners, the Israelites that look like, act like, and take on the customs of all these heathen nations. So to you, I say Shalom. This lesson is brought to you by the Spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the true name of our Father, the God of the Bible, the God of the Israelites. By Hashem meaning coming in the name, and Yahweh Shai being the only begotten Son of Yahweh, who the world is caused by the name of JC. And this lesson is going to go into, um, one thing leading into another, all right, ultimately wrapping up to be one package, right? And that's this. Marines call themselves modern day Spartans because of the hard, vigorous training that they do, all right, and they live off of what they call um, core value, right, which is honor, courage, commitment. Also taking on and coining the term Semper Fidelis from the Spanish War, meaning always faithful, right? Spanish, or they call it Semper Fi for short. So we're just going to get in a few scriptures speaking about what it is to have honor, courage, and commitment for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, as well as being Semper Fi, all right, always faithful. All right, so without any further ado, this is St. John 15 and verse 16. It says, "Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you." All right. And that's Yahweh Shai choosing us to do this work. There's 7 point something billion people upon the face of the earth. All right. Many were called to do this work, but only few answered that call to go actually serve the Lord and do this work, man. All right. So what a great honor that is. Okay. Which leads me to staying in the St. John, chapter 15, verse 26. It says, "But when the Comforter is come, whom I will send unto you from the Father, even the Spirit of truth, which proceedeth from the Father, he shall testify of me, and ye also shall bear witness." Why? Because ye have been with me from the beginning. From the beginning. So when you read in Genesis, all right, the very beginning, those spirits for prophecy were built then. They were made then. Right? That's why he said that. You have been with me from the beginning. that is such a great honor. All right. Anybody that doesn't see that, I mean, you just weren't given that gift of understanding. All right, because that is a beautiful honor to serve Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right. Which leads me to this. This is 2 Timothy 2 and verse 21, and it reads, "If a man therefore purge himself from these," all right, these things being, matter of fact, let me read up. It's this is 1 Timothy 2 and verse 20 says, "But in a great house there are not only vessels of gold and of silver, but also of wood and of earth, and some to honor and some to dishonor. If a man therefore purge himself from these idols and all that, things of that nature, all right, to be of dishonor, all right. If a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor, sanctified and meet for the master's use, and prepared unto every good work." The master's use, all right, prepared unto every good work. What is that going into? What does that mean? All right, well, let's get that. This is 1 John 2 and verse 24, and it reads, "Let that therefore abide in you, which ye have heard from the beginning." See that once again, that you have heard from the beginning. "If that which ye have heard from the beginning shall remain in you, ye also shall continue in the Son and in the Father." Right? Well, what does that mean? To go out there and do this work, man. Putting in the time, putting in the effort. All right? Because remember, this is a great honor that was bestowed upon you. Take advantage of it. Do what the Lord is asking you to do. Okay? There honestly, is there anything else to do? No, there is not. All right, which leads me back to this. This is St. John, going back to St. John. All right, chapter 6 and verse 63, and starting at, I'll start at verse 60. This is St. John 6, and starting at verse 60, it says, Many therefore of his disciples, when they had heard this, said, This is an hard saying, who can hear it? When Yahushua knew in himself that his disciples murmured at it, he said unto them, Doth this offend you? What, and if ye shall see the Son of Man ascend up where he was before. So I can read that part over. And when Yahushua knew in himself that his disciples murmured at it, he said unto them, Doth this offend you? What, and if ye shall see the Son of Man ascend up where he was before? It is the Spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit, and they are life. But there are some of you that believe not. For Yahushua knew from the beginning, all right, once again, Yahushua knew from the beginning who they were that believed not and who should betray him. All right, and I read that to say this. He knew from the beginning who would serve Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, who would believe in the names of Yahushai, and who would go out there and do this work, who he was going to give this honor to. Okay, who he was going to give this honor to do this work, man. It wasn't given to everybody. If it were given to everybody, I mean, hell, everybody would be doing what the Lord said to do. But do they? No, not the slightest. All right. This is Psalm 127 and Psalm 127, verse 1. All right. It says, Except the Lord Yahweh build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord Yahweh keep the city, the watchman waketh, but in vain. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows. For so he giveth his beloved sleep. Lo, children are an inheritance to the Lord Yahweh, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. All right. And who are these people speaking in the gate? Who are these men? All right. Oh, matter of fact, and we're gonna touch grounds back on that too. Those that are building, right? Because these people overseas in Israel, all right, wanting to build a third temple, not understanding the Lord meant that in a spiritual manner, all right, because that temple is already in the build, it's already being built, all right, been built, building for some time now, all right. This is Deuteronomy 31 and Deuteronomy 31 and verse 6, and it reads, Be strong and of a good courage, fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord Yahweh thy power, he it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee nor forsake thee. All right? The Lord is out there. Wherever we are, when there's two or more gathered in his name, there he is. All right? And he's going to give us words of wisdom. All right? People ain't going to be able to gainsay. They're not going to be able to come up against this truth. Why would the Lord have us fail? Right? The scriptures is about him. He's not going to have us fail. Right? And that's all the more reason why it's important to be with a body and not be your own individual self trying to teach. All right. So yeah, the Lord is with us. All right. He gave us that what? He gave us that courage. Okay. Now let's go back into this is going to be 2 Timothy. So Lockie, bear with me. All right. This is 2 Timothy 2 and verse 21, and it reads, actually, I'm going to start at verse 19. It says 2 Timothy 2 and 19. Nevertheless, the foundation of the Most High standeth sure. Having this seal, the Lord knoweth them that are his. And let every one that nameth the name of Mashiach depart from iniquity. But in a great house there are not only vessels of gold and of silver, but also of wood and of earth, and some to honor and some to dishonor. If a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor, sanctified and meet for the master's use, and prepared unto every good work. All right, and that good work is to go out there in the highways and the hedges. All right, to teach the gospel, to let y'all know the prophecy that are coming. Whether you got some type of feeling or thoughts about it, all right, it doesn't matter. This is not our show. This is what the Lord deemed us to do. All right, and that's that good work. Also to follow in the ways of Yahweh Shai. All right, loving the Lord, our power with every thought, every being of our fiber. All right, with all our mind, all our heart, all our soul, and also to love our brethren. The same way, like I said, with Yahweh Shai, leaving us those examples. Okay, so how do we go out there and be meat for the master's use? All right, to go out in the highways and the hedges. Like I said, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks or what they feel. All right, it doesn't even matter what we think, what we feel. All right, this is not our show. This is the Lord's show, and we just follow, man. All right, this is let's go into. Uh-oh. Get my pages all bent up. This is it's the book of Amos. This is Amos 5 and verse 10, and it reads, "They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly." All right, so we're going out there trying to be meat for the Father's work. All right, and so we can be honorable vessels. Right, that's that courage to go out there. And you see, our people got a problem with it. They hateth him, they hate us that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. Oh well, it matters not, man. Okay, this is because that's all part of counting that cost. All right, friends, family, leaving our side, maybe get discharged out of service, lose your job, whatever, man. The Lord comes first. Seek ye the kingdom first, and all these things will be added unto you. All right, those things should echo in your mind if you truly serve Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. This is Psalm 127, verse 1. It says, "Except the Lord," all right, because earlier we were talking about them that got a problem with how the temple is being made. They want to build in a physical form, not understanding it's a spiritual form. All right, it says Psalm 127 and verse 1. I'll read it again. It says, "Except the Lord Yahweh build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord Yahweh keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he giveth his beloved sleep." All right. And that, again, that's going into how the Lord chose us. That's that honor that he was giving unto us. So if you weren't chosen by the Lord and you going out there and trying to do it by yourself, you're doing yourself a disservice, and you are very dishonorable, because that's stolen valor, as it were, as a service men of governmental service would call it. All right, that's stolen valor. All right, now let's go into commitment. All right, this is First Corinthians 3 and verse 9. It says, "For we are laborers together with the Most High. You are the Most High's husbandry. You are the Most High's building." All right, because remember earlier I was talking about how they're talking about building a physical third temple. This temple is already being built. All right, by a spiritual temple. All right, verse 10. "According to the grace of the Most High, which is given unto me, As a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon. But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon. For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Yahweh Shai Mashiach. All right, and that's Yahweh Shai being what? That cornerstone. Okay, there you can't build a third temple physically without it being torn down. Right? You think in this last segment of this time, the Lord is going to allow His temple to be torn down? No, He's going to have it being built in a spiritual aspect. All right, which leads me to this. This is Ephesians 2 and start at verse 19. It says, "Now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of the Most High, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Yahushua Mashiach himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto an holy temple in the Lord, in whom ye also are builded together for an habitation of the Most High through the Spirit." So as you can see, the temple was being built by a spiritual aspect. Okay, he's not going to have us being torn down. Right now, let's go to First Peter real quick. All right, just to state uh, that this is a spiritual temple and not man-made. This is First Peter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, "Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the world, that ye may grow thereby. If so, be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious, to whom coming as unto a living stone," right? Living stone, that's us, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of the Most High and precious, ye also as living stones are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High by Yahweh Shai Mashiach. All right. It's not talking about a physical temple. It's talking about a spiritual temple. All right. Now, from there, let's go to Colossians. This is Colossians 2 and verse 7, and it reads, matter of fact, I'll start at verse 6. This is Colossians 2 and verse 6. "As ye have therefore received Yahushua Mashiach, the Lord, so walk ye in him." All right. That's that honor. That's the courage. That's the commitment. All right. Rooted and built up in him and established in the faith as ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. All right. And that's the same way if you have a garden, right? What do you got to do? You got to go out there and go break up the ground. All right. Make sure it's good, fertile soil. You were able to understand and given permission to receive the information. All right. You plant the seed. Well, first of all, before you plant the seed, you get rid of all the weeds. All right. The mockers and the scoffers. You plant the seed. All right. Then your plant starts taking root. All right. You start getting this information, being built up in the spirit. All right. And now you start growing. All right. And then when you start growing sideways, start going off in the world, right? Your brothers around you will chastise you. The Lord will chastise you. All right. See that you growing sideways. All right. So then a stick is put in place. That's that chastisement. So you can grow what? Upright. All right. And that your fruit can grow. All right. It's the same thing. It's the same principalities. All right. This is Isaiah. Let's see, Isaiah 61. This is Isaiah 61 and verse 11, and it reads, "For as the earth bringeth forth her bud, and as the garden causes things that are sown in it to spring forth, So the Lord power will cause righteousness and praise to spring forth before all the nations. All right. And that's us letting that light so shine before men. All right. We're not hiding under a bushel. All right. We're going out there on the highways and hedges every day, every week. All right. Prophesying the downfall of his kingdom. And if you're not prophesying or upset about the oppression that and the wickedness that are done in the midst thereof, that means you're part of the problem. Okay. You got to look at it in that aspect. If you're not out there crying about the things that are going on in the world, then you're okay with it. You're okay wearing a mask. You're okay having to take certain things medical wise in order to keep your job. All right, and then ultimately, something could possibly happen, and you're okay with being told to shut the hell up if you start saying truth. Okay, you're okay with that. If you're not okay with that, then you should be out there in the highways and hedges and listening to the men of the Lord. This is St. Matthew chapter 9 and verse 37. It says, Then saith he unto his disciples, The harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. All right, because many were called, few were chosen. All right, there's a lot of work to be done in this garden. Only few people going out there to go do it, if any. All right, very, very few. All right, and those that are committed to it are what? They're the real term meaning a cult. All right, because they're tending to. All right, what do you think a horticulturist does? They're tending to the herbs and the trees and things of that nature. All right, agriculture. All right, you got to look at the word for what it truly meant and not for how these heathens deemed it in an evil sense. All right, going back into the etymology of the words. All right, so it's all about doing this work, man. All right, now before leaving off, let's get into the always faithful, right? Because that's the whole point of doing this work for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, being faithful. All right, this is Proverb 3 and verse 5, and it reads, Trust in the Lord Yahweh with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. All right. Matter of fact, that leads me real quick. This is the book of Sirach 4 and 28. It says, Strive for the truth and unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. Okay, again, Proverbs 3 and verse 5. Trust in the Lord Yahweh with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. All right. Does that not get any more clear about being faithful? You stay faithful to Yahweh Shem Shai, the Lord is going to be faithful to you. He's going to help you out. Okay. Now let's get one more scripture. This is Revelation 12 and Salakia. This is Revelation 2. Salakia. Revelation 2 and verse 10. And it reads, Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye shall be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. See that? Be faithful until death. Always faithful. Semper fidelis. Semper fi, man. All right, so you Marines, you think you got it on a mortal sense, all right? But the real Spartans are the men of the Lord, all right? Sorry, not sorry. We're the ones out there really putting our lives on the line. For who? The real master in chief, the commander in chief. All right, Yahweh Yahweh Shai. All right, the CO being Yahweh, the XO being Yahweh Shai. All right, and the apostles. All right, I mean, basically they warrant officers. All right, and then you got your elders. All right, they could be like the your first sergeants or whatnot. Right, the teachers, the elder brothers. All right, they could be like your gunnery sergeants, staff sergeants. All right, but that's what it is, man. There's a ranking order. All right, so we're the ones out there really putting in this work, serving the real master commander in chief, man. All right. So with that, hey, Lord willing, this is edifying, giving all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and all the teachers out there pushing this word in truth with truth and sincerity, especially now risking your lives to do so. May you be the elect. All right. Stay prayed up, repent. Above, shalom.